My Five Wives. Shocking confrontations.
Don't change me!
An anniversary oversight that pushes one wife to the edge.
Our anniversary is one of the worst days of our marriage.
And baby fever runs wild.
I had some questions regarding adoption.
We see you buying a pregnancy test. Did you take it?
Cameras were there to capture everything.
This is where the magic happens, baby.
The good.
The party has started.
So who's up for a little strip poker?
The bad.
You guys like it?
I just keep having symptoms. Honestly, I'm scared.
And the awkward.
I don't want to talk about it.
To me, that's just throwing it in their face that, hey, every night we're going to be having sex.
Now they sit down to talk about it all.
I felt a little betrayed that that was going to be national news before I knew it.
It shocked me, honestly. Where did that come from? I was devastated.
And everything is fair game.
At the end of the season, Paula, you dropped a bombshell, I think, a little bit. Have any of you ever thought about leaving? I was ready for Brady to go, humana, humana, humana.
This is My Five Wives Tell All. Welcome to My Five Wives Tell All. I'm Tamron Hall. There's a new family of polygamists on TLC, and they are joining me in New York City. Brady Williams and his 5 wives, Noni, Robin, Rosemary, Rhonda, and Paulie, are here to tell us about everything that happened on camera and behind the scenes. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
Well, Brady, I'll start with you. Why did you decide to do the show?
We felt like our family could represent a good, healthy, polygamous family that doesn't rely on a religion to keep them together.
Was everyone else on board?
It took some time, but yeah.
Paulie, what about you? Because I've heard you've been hesitant to even watch the show. Is that true?
Yes, I haven't watched it at all.
Why?
There is a part of me that didn't necessarily want to see how Brady was with the other wives behind, closed doors.
Meaning the bedroom camera.
Yeah, the bedroom. Yeah.
We are going to show some of the scenes from the bedroom while we're discussing this today. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'll do it. Yes.
Okay. Brady, let's be clear. You're not members of the FLDS.
No, we are not members of the FLDS. We used to be members of the AUB.
Where does your family stand now?
We're no longer part of any formal organized religion.
Why is that?
The Mormons won't have us because I'm a polygamist, and the polygamists won't have us because we don't think the same way, right? And we're quite progressive, our embracing of gay marriage and racial equality, marriage equality, gender equality. All of these things are very important to our family, and those don't sit well with many conventional polygamists.
Well, Brady, we watch you juggle your time with your wives throughout the season, but it seemed like one wife in particular got the short end of the stick. Take a look.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, you know what? My window it's broken and I cannot get it to close, and it's really cold outside. I didn't know if you could come and close it for me so you can get it closed.
Okay. Yeah, I'll come up.
All right, thanks.
For 19 years, I've noticed Polly having extra time with Brady, and it just feels to me like it is directional, so it's my time that gets taken and not so much other wives.
How are things between you and your sister wives? It's all good? How about you and Polly? Are you guys doing okay now?
I feel like she's taking my time with you. And, the last few years, it was just, felt like it's been on purpose, and because I never went and talked to her about it.
Then it blew up.
I know you were just, putting out fires. It's just, after so many times of it happening just to me, every time on my night, it felt like a personal attack.
Rosemary, you thought, obviously, that Paulie was infringing on your time. Do you believe it was deliberate?
I talked to Polly about it, and I've changed my mind. I don't think it was deliberate.
So what did you say to Paulie, and what did she say to you that resolved this suddenly, after years of it festering?
I think I just was able to tell her how I felt about it.
Can you tell me what you told her?
Well, I told her, I asked her,
Okay, I'll let you think about it, because I can tell this is something deeper here. Her eyes are tearing up, so that makes me feel like either this was not resolved or you're not telling me the whole story.
In the past, she's come to me and talked to me, and I feel like it had been resolved. I guess on my part, I feel like it was resolved. I didn't realize maybe for her it wasn't.
But Rosemary and Paulie, is it safe to say that you've resolved this, or it's a work in progress?
For me, it's a work in progress.
Paulie?
It's a work in progress.
Clearly you're together, you're committed, and it seems that these are marriages that work. But have any of you ever thought about leaving?
Sure.
You have?
Well, at different times. We all have our ups and our downs, and we, just the wondering, did I make the right choice? And I've thought about it, but you know what? I've always come to the same conclusion that I'm very happy with what I have, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Has it always remained an internal thought, to yourself, or has anyone ever gone to Brady and said, the door seems really appealing right now, this is too hard?
I know there was a moment for me, a time, and that was probably when we left the religion, because it was like, okay, I don't have to do this now, I need to decide. And I know Brady knew my struggles at that time.
Tell me more about that struggle.
Just wondering if it was worth it.
Meaning being with him while he has four other wives?
Being a part of this family, wondering within myself if it was worth it for me. And I came to that conclusion within myself that yes, it's worth it.
Brady, how does that make you feel? I mean, Paulie was your first wife.
Well, I'm sitting here feeling really proud of these gals, that they're that strong of women, that they realize that they're not controlled, that they have a choice, and that they can live their life however it is, and then that they chose me too, on top, after all of that empowerment. That just makes me so happy.
All right, with that, it's time to take a break.
Coming up, Brady and the wives face off over a big move.
All of a sudden it's like, oh, is it a family decision?
I'm Tamron Hall. We are talking with Brady Williams and his 5 wives. How do you make ends meet with 30 people? I know the construction business is picking up, but my goodness.
For years, our construction company did really well. The recession hit and we really took a nosedive, and it was really hard, and everybody just chipped in and picked up work, and a couple went to school, and we've been working together now to take care of the family.
Talk to me about balancing the money and how that works. Does all the cash go into one pot?
Everybody has their own budget for a family, and then for each kid there's more put on. So like Polly has 6 kids, so she gets more because there's more kids than say Rhonda or I, who have 4.
Are there 6 different bank accounts though?
There's a central family account, and then each one of the wives have their own checking account. That money from the central family account is dispersed to each of those accounts, and then the wives have autonomy to spend that money however they're going to.
Has money caused conflict in the family, especially in the leaner years where you've told me that you were struggling to get work to take care of this family of 30?
I think we probably drew closer in the leaner years because everybody was just so invested just to survive.
Yeah, I think it was less of a conflict during those times because we all knew we had to just put in whatever.
If you don't have it, you're not going to worry about it.
Now, let's talk about college, because somebody will be going to college, it seems, pretty much every year for the rest of your adult lives at some point. How do you handle that?
We don't have the money to pay for college, and the kids know that, and so they work really hard. I have 4 daughters now with full tuition scholarships, and I'm really proud of them for doing that, and they've worked hard to get that. And if they don't have a scholarship, then they're going to have to work or get student loans or something like that.
Throughout the season, you talked a lot about uprooting and moving. What's the situation? Why the big move?
Well, we live in a polygamous community, the one that I used to be a leader of, and it's uncomfortable, you know. The rules of the community are that if you're not part of the faith, you shouldn't be there. And it's not for sure to Washington or maybe the mountains of Utah or maybe Montana, but would we like to? Sure.
Are you leaning to move to Washington, Utah? What is the stand right now? You don't want Washington. You'd like to stay, you'd like Utah.
I would prefer to stay in Utah, but, you know, I'm pretty much, I'll go wherever, you know, Brady decides to go, but...
Where we all decide to go.
Yeah, where we all decide to go.
I was going to say, Brady's not making
That sounds
the decision.
better.
Well
said, Noni.
well. But wherever you move, it's going to be unanimous decision?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, it's going to have to be.
Well, when Brady and Rhonda checked out some places while on their anniversary trip, it didn't sit well with the other wives. Let's take a look.
Did you see this?
Yeah, Brady sent it to me too.
I think it's kind of funny that they're going to look at property without us.
I don't know about you. I'd kind of like to be there.
I know, me too. We get a text from Brady that is a picture of property that he and Rhonda are looking at in Washington. Hey, you guys got the same text we did?
I just think it would be nice to have a discussion and actually
nice to know.
decide. I understand that that's where Brady wants to go. It's where he grew up and his family's there, but I think that we all should be in on the decision.
They're having their anniversary. Don't you think that maybe they should enjoy their time?
Well, I know Rhonda's really excited to move up there, so maybe this is fun for her.
What do you guys feel? What's an ideal place in your mind?
I love Seattle. I think Seattle would be great. I would just like to know that we're deciding it together and not being told, you know, oh, hey, we're looking at property.
It's like Brady and Rhonda are deciding where we're going to move.
You know, we're all kind of miffed that, hey, they're deciding where we're going to live without us even talking about it.
I'm still just not sure what I think.
Well, what was going on?
Oh, well, it was one of those things. You kind of thought, you know, I think we all understood it was a family decision, and then we, you know, all of a sudden it's like, oh, is it a family decision?
Rosemary, how did that conversation go when you spoke with Rhonda and Brady about leaving you guys behind?
I just remember thinking it was a beautiful place, and yeah, I'd love to live there, and when we have the money, let's look at property together, kind of. You know?
No more text messages or pictures.
Oh, it was no big deal. You know.
Did you see that video? Did you not see that clip?
We weren't really looking for the place that we were going to end up. It was just window shopping.
It sounds like to me that you will be leaving Utah.
I don't know.
I mean, how can you call a place home that you don't feel welcome?
Sometimes you have to bloom wherever the flower's planted, you know, even if it's in a gravel yard.
See, that's what you get when a construction worker takes philosophy class. Okay. Coming up, a so-called safe talk has explosive results.
It shocked me, honestly, when I saw it. I was like, where did that come from?
Welcome back to My 5 Wives Tell All.
I have to ask about safe talks. First of all, who wants to explain what a safe talk is?
We just always have gone to Brady when we've had an issue. And Brady just thought, hey, if you guys start talking to each other more instead of always going through me, it'll, you know, create this stronger bond in the family, you know.
Sounds like a good idea. Was everyone on board?
Yeah.
We were to begin with.
No, I don't know if everyone was.
Well, that brings me to this, because Noni and Polly had a safe talk.
that had some emotional repercussions. Take a look.
There was just something I just kind of wanted to talk to you about and maybe just have an understanding.
Okay.
Just in one of our family meetings, we had talked about how one of the common bills, you know, was going to be taken care of. And I just had noticed that you went ahead and had done it, which was fine. I just didn't know if that's something you want to always do.
Well, the only reason why I did it is because I had to open it up anyway because Rhonda and I have a separate one.
Yeah.
I honestly was thinking I was saving a step. Sorry if I hurt your feelings.
No, it didn't hurt my feelings. I just wanted an understanding of what to expect, that's all.
Before the idea of Safe Talk came up, conversations like this were rare. I feel on guard.
Do we have to be so dang afraid of feelings that we can't do anything?
Why are you so afraid of someone understanding you? She was giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Understanding that she needs to accept that's what it made me feel.
What about some of the stuff that maybe you're not aware of that you need to own?
If I have something I need to own up to, I will own up to it.
How will you ever know if they can't talk to you about it?
They can talk to me about it. That's fine. Doesn't mean my feelings won't be hurt.
Well, I know that.
Okay.
But does it mean you have to react this way?
This is how I react. Accept it or lump it. Don't change me.
Wow. The viewers at home, which include me, I was stunned. I didn't understand what happened.
I felt like I was misunderstood, that my intentions for good weren't taken that way. And so, yeah, it kind of hurt my feelings that it wasn't taken that way.
Since you don't watch the show, you've admitted to me, that's your first time seeing that.
Yeah.
So, what did you think?
It was a little bit hard to watch. I was a little bit surprised by Noni's reaction.
When you said, "Don't change me,"
yeah,
what did you mean by that?
It shocked me, honestly, when I saw it. I was like, where did that come from? I don't like feeling like I can't be who I am. I felt like Brady had told me at that time that I should not have emotions, that I should just be calm and reserved all the time, and I shouldn't have been hurt, and I was hurt.
Maybe I was being too calculating, and maybe I was unfairly expecting her to just keep it together, you know, and I let her know that I was sorry. And
Paulie, what do you feel that you need to say to Noni to make this better for your relationship?
Well, Noni and I have talked. Noni and I are good.
Polly and I really do have a really good relationship, and we do talk all the time.
So, the Safe Talk's here to stay?
I don't know if we're going to call them Safe Talks, but there's been a lot more communication. And actually, the show's done a lot of, it's like this pressure cooker. And it's like, I call it therapy on steroids, you know, because it's this big, you know, magnifying glass. And all the gals are doing a really good job of talking to each other a lot more.
Well, Brady, the tables were turned when Robin and Rosemary came to have a safe talk with you about a controversial anniversary ring. Take a look.
Brady got Polly a ring for her 20th anniversary. And so when my anniversary came around, that's what I thought was going to happen. And it didn't. And that hurt.
He went and got me one a couple weeks later, but it was actually after I told him I didn't want one. And so I'd been wearing it, and I'd been telling myself it was okay, but I don't want to feel like it's just because you have to be fair.
We need to have a safe talk about rings.
About rings?
About a particular ring.
Okay.
I really thought I was okay about my 20th anniversary ring.
Yeah.
And I've tried really hard to be okay with it. And I guess I just need to understand. I'm still so hurt.
I can totally see why you'd be hurt. I get it. What I think we should do is have a do-over.
we can't just do over 20 years. So
Well,
I don't.
I'm not saying do over 20 years, I'm just saying do over the ring thing.
I don't think you understand how much that devastated me. You took me shopping on one of my dates to look at rings for Polly, and you were buying a ring for another woman, and I loved you for it, and I thought that was wonderful, and I just wanted the same thing. I just wanted to feel that same way that you
Yes.
felt that way about me, and I got.
I know.
Our anniversary is one of the worst days of our marriage.
People don't cry like that and don't express that type of pain if it's all roses and candy. So what happened?
Our anniversary came, and the day went on, and there was no let's go look for rings. There was no I got you a ring. And so I finally asked, and I said, "Did you get me a ring?" And he said no.
I was going through a really tough time in the company, in the business, and I was completely distracted, and it got away from me how close the anniversary was getting. Did I intentionally try to hurt Robin? Of course not. I wanted her to feel special and all of that. I was just dumb. I just didn't handle it right. Life got the best of me, and it ended up really hurting Robin.
Wise words from a husband. I was just dumb. But the bottom line is you offered a do-over, and that didn't seem to work either. So where do we stand with this issue?
I guess we're still waiting for the do-over.
You're waiting for the do-over?
Yeah, I know.
Have you moved on
Wants
from
to.
it? Where are you with this emotionally?
I feel like if I have to wait 10 years, it just needs to feel right, and I'm willing to wait.
Do you still feel that your anniversary was one of the worst days of your marriage? That's what you said.
Yeah, I do, but I don't have to. I don't have to do it again.
Well, Brady, you've got your hands full. The clock is ticking. I can't wait to see. I believe you're going to come up with something fantastic.
I know I will.
I know you will too. All right, with that, it's time to take a break. When we come back, 24 may not be enough. The wives talk more children. Paula, you dropped a bombshell, I think, a little bit when you told Brady that you wanted to think about having another baby. Well, are you thinking about it, really? Welcome back. I'm Tamron Hall. Now let's talk about Rhonda and the adoption. So tell me a little bit of why this is important to you. Your family of 30, 24 children. So there's no shortage of kids in the house.
Right.
But why was this important for you to explore?
I work in a medical office, and I've seen children that I've held in my arms one day, and the next time they're in primary children's hospital because they've been abused. You know, they're just little babies. And I just know there's so many kids that need love. And I see that in our kids. I mean, they are so loved. We've got 24. What's 25? Bring another one in. We've got more love to go around.
Where do things stand right now? Are you basing your next move on where you live? Where do things stand?
Rhonda's been talking about it for years, and yeah, I think we're in a good place as a family to where we could take that on, and I think it'd be wonderful.
Well, Rhonda wasn't the only person interested in more children. Let's take a look.
I'm just wanting to visit the idea of perhaps having another baby. Is that something that you and I could start considering?
You know, obviously, since we talked about it a while ago, yeah, I think about it, and you know, I'm still worried. All those worries are still in me.
Like what?
You know, like finances and just how busy I am and you are and whether or not your health is okay. And I'm just worried. I'm just worried about all that. But that doesn't mean that I can't think about it, right? You know.
In plural marriage, he's having a sexual relationship with every one of his wives. But we kind of like to just sometimes not go there because it is a little hard to have to share that sexual relationship. Love you.
Love you, baby.
And so, for me to go tell my sister wives that I'm ready to have a baby, to me, that's just throwing it in their face that, hey, every night we're going to be having sex.
So you told Rhonda about wanting another baby, but you didn't tell the other wives. Is that the case?
I have a really close relationship with Rhonda, and it's not that I don't have with these guys, but I was a little bit more nervous about mentioning it to them.
Why?
Because Rhonda and I have had several conversations to where I know with her that she doesn't have a hard time with me discussing a sexual relationship without getting hurt.
Rosemary, were you upset?
I wasn't upset. I watched the episode and found out that that was the decision they made, and so I went to Brady and I said, so you guys are having a baby? And he got really defensive.
Well, did he get defensive because of the way you approached him about it?
No. Well, I don't know. Did you? Was that the reason?
We'll save that for another question.
No. Why do we have to save it?
Well, yeah, I felt a little defensive. I just felt like I was being attacked by the way it was presented. But we've talked about it, and I realized that she wasn't. She was just trying to get understanding.
But then I went to Noni and I said, so you guys decided to have a baby, and were you going to tell us before this aired? Because I felt a little betrayed that that was going to be national news before I knew it.
That's not how we've done it in the past, and I was trying to be authentic. We don't go and announce to each other, say, hey, by the way, we're planning on having another baby. But then I, too, was struggling on the inside of going, they're going to see this. But again, maybe that's part of the communication that we need to work on as a family.
So, Noni, at the end of the season, we see you buying a pregnancy test. Did you take it?
Yes, I took it.
You did take it. So we got that far.
You want to fish for more?
Well, if you were pregnant, you would tell us.
Right.
Yep, that is the truth.
You're trying, though. You want this baby.
Yes, I do want a baby. That desire is always there.
At the end of the season, Paula, you dropped a bombshell, I think, a little bit when you told Brady that you wanted to think about having another baby. Well, are you thinking about it, really?
No.
No.
No. It was a moment in time, I think. Brady and I have talked about it, over the several years, but no.
I think she was just like, so what if,
Okay. When we come back, a simple question about birth control gets awkward fast.
I haven't gotten a whole lot of support, so we don't usually talk about it.
But first, an exclusive sneak peek at what's ahead in the new season of Sister Wives. Welcome back to My 5 Wives Tell All. All of this baby fever prompted a pretty frank and, dare I say, a pretty awkward conversation regarding birth control. Take a look.
Is it okay to ask about birth control?
Sure.
I don't know if our families, I don't know if I've never admitted that to our families.
I think they probably know.
Of course they know.
I don't want to talk about it.
I'm not ready to admit that to my family.
I'm not afraid.
Whether they know or not, I don't want to confirm it.
I don't understand why you think that's an issue, Noni. I think it would be outlandish to think your family doesn't think you're using birth control.
Brady, you were raised totally different than we were. I mean, that was a sin, because that is your purpose in life, is to be a mother and raise children. And so you do not prevent that in any way, shape, or form. And so the fact that we've changed our mind on that that's a big deal.
It's a non-issue, I think. well, for me, it's obviously not a non-issue for them. So, but their family all thinks they do, and I can't imagine they don't.
I know my family doesn't. Okay?
I was ready for Brady to go, homina, homina, homina. Okay. Noni, why was this so difficult?
We've been raised that that was wrong. That was wrong to prevent having children. We all love our families and still want to be accepted by them, and we have a relationship with them, and we don't want to make it awkward for them either. And, you know, for them to know that is kind of one of those, another thing that they would be disappointed in. And it just, it would strain the relationship more, and I just didn't want to go there.
So now that all the moms know, all the family members know, what's been the reaction? Were you too worried about it? Or did you get a little judgment pushed back?
I haven't gotten a whole lot of support in doing the show from family, and so we don't usually talk about it.
Are you happy that this is done? Because I can tell everyone wants to move on. All right. A surprisingly huge point of contention during the season was Brady's decision to get a tattoo. That was hard enough for the wives to swallow, but when the tattoo artist changed the idea to a tree, it was even less popular. Let's take a look.
So he wants to do a big old oak tree that has 5 major branches, and then off of each major branch would be the amount of leaves of each wife's children.
A tree is completely different than the idea of a band. The part we liked was the fact that it was a band, not this big thing on your arm.
This is the symbolism I was thinking of.
All right.
I'm with you, Noni. I like bands.
I don't know if I like this big picture. It's just bigger than what I had thought.
I don't know. It kind of looks like a dead tree to me. I don't want that. I really liked the band idea, but I don't like the tree. I didn't like the picture at all. I hated it. So I hope it's different.
Okay, guys, who wants to see Dad's tattoo? Okay, get ready.
The kids are like, yeah. You guys are like, really?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think? Do you guys like it?
Oh, look at Rosemary. Oh, Rosemary, did you come around?
It's taken me a few weeks, but I do like it. I like it now. It represents us, and it shows how committed he is to us.
Everyone else like it?
I like it. It's part of Brady now, and I love Brady.
It's a very PC answer.
I was very opposed to it. The whole tattoo thing is very anti the way I was raised, you know.
Again.
But now that I know how much it meant to him, it makes me appreciate it a lot more.
Brady, is this your last tattoo?
Yeah, I think so. Unless someone will offer me a lot of money to put another one on.
Any chance that we can expect more leaves on that tree?
Sounds like maybe. We'll see.
Okay, with that, it's time to take a break. Coming up, a cancer scare rocks the family.
I don't want other people to have to go through losing someone that they love so much.
Welcome back. We are in New York City with Brady Williams and his 5 wives. Rhonda, your emotional roller coaster with breast cancer was hard to watch, but I also believe that there were families who were watching right along with me who understand and whose hearts went out to you during this. In one of the most emotional moments, you tell your sister wives what you've been going through. Let's take a look at that moment.
Rhonda, is there anything we can do for you?
Just pray that I'll be okay again. I just... That's it.
Well, the last time we had the scare with you, we all gathered around and blessed you.
Hi.
Can we do that again?
Yeah.
Just a minute. And we leave this blessing upon you in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
It's gonna be okay, you guys. I know it.
Rhonda, talk to me about having all of those hands of love on you, surrounding you, that support system.
I could sense everybody's hands where they were, and I just knew that they were all just trying to feed into me, you know, some strength.
What's in your religion? What's it take on modern medicine? What's the balance there?
Oh, that was the right way that I was raised, is that really if you were good enough that you would just be miraculously healed. And then if you weren't miraculously healed, then somehow because you were so strong and believed in that enough, that your position in the next life would be that much better because of all the suffering that you go through in this life. I don't want any of my family to go through that anymore. I don't want them to think that, especially when there are options and the medical field has come so far. And I'm sorry, you think that God will heal you, and sometimes, I'm not saying he never does, but you need to do whatever you can, and with all the information that is out there, to fight that. And I don't want other people to have to go through losing someone that they love so much.
Brady, I think that's the only time this season that I saw you choke up.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind?
You know, just what Rhonda means to me and the family. It's unbearable to even think about her, you know, not being with us.
Well, Rhonda, we were all on the edge of our seats, hoping for good news after you had your ultrasound. Let's take a look.
So I went in and got the ultrasound, and I got the results of that today. And sorry, I don't know why I'm so emotional. It's good news.
Oh, good.
This is a relief. I mean, it's not like it's over. They just think it's a fibroadenoma, which is just a benign mass that they said it's still concerning because of its size. And so I'm gonna go see the surgeon as soon as I can get an appointment, but it looks really good.
At this point at home, I'm hugging the TV. I just want you to know that. I was hugging you through the television set. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right, but I'm definitely not letting this drop. I've definitely kept checking into things, and I'm following everything that's been recommended to me.
Rhonda and I talked about it and decided that the best thing to do would be get the BRCA test, which is that preemptive test to see if you will get
if you have that gene.
The gene. And we're currently waiting to see what the results are.
If the test is positive.
Basically, you have surgery to have all breast tissue removed and everything so that you don't develop the cancer in the future.
Would you explore that option?
That will be so hard, but how could I not? If it would make it so that I could be here for grandchildren and my children could have a mother. Scary, heck yes. But I have to think of other people besides myself in this.
Well, we wish you the best, and we will follow your journey. Noni, Robin, Rosemary, Rhonda, Paulie, and Brady, thank you all so much for talking with me. I'm Tamron Hall. Thanks for watching.